Okay, is this thing on? I got a glare on it. Oh, okay, I think I can see what's going on now. Can't see if anyone's there. But I'll just wait a minute, pretend like I'm talking to myself if I don't see anything. Alright, so talking about, what did I say, anatomy of a challenge. And of course embracing our challenges and growing healthy mindsets. So I was thinking about this concept and I thought I'd share it because hopefully someone will get something out of it. At least thinking of different ways to look at our challenges. I think most people look at our challenges in a one-dimensional way, but actually they're multi-dimensional. They're very multi-dimensional. I mean, our challenges take like, the biggest POS thing happening, in the world right now. Okay, let's just use the obvious. See, this is a perfect example. What's the benefits of Trump? Well, he's a good example for, conversations like this, right? So I guess that's kind of a segue into looking at the bigger picture of things, and not getting stuck on just the physical, one-dimensional reflection of our challenges. Okay, so what I mean is that all our challenges make us, right? And it gets back to, natural process 101. The life and death challenges facilitate life. So as people, and yes, we do have a physical component, but we also have mental, emotional, spiritual component. Okay, I think we cut out. I stopped though. Our challenges now, if we look at just the physical component, we can get stuck in that. We say, oh, this person's this, and this person's this, and this person's this. Well, and we can get stuck in that cycle. And that is a cycle, although I would say a negative one. Or what does it really do? It really forces us to grow ourselves and try and overcome these challenges in another way. It's like when we start looking internally for answers, then we start to grow. And then the focus of this conversation is to say that, what if in the universal aspect that we really have no idea what our path is, why things happen. What if all these things are just to grow ourselves? What if all our challenges, the things that physically we see as, horrible, the worst thing in the world, what if that is just to grow our mental, spiritual, emotional faucets? What if that's, just strictly there? What if the universe, whatever that is, just says, boom, here you go, and, here's your challenge. And and it doesn't have anything to do with what we see on a one-dimensional physical level, but it has everything to do with our mental, emotional, spiritual growth as individuals in the species. So, if we look at our challenges that way, if we know, what did Socrates say? To really have knowledge, you have to know that you know nothing. If we embrace that we don't know what's next, if we embrace that we don't know, why things are, then we can say, oh, well, whatever the process is, I have to do what I have to do. We have to do what we have to do. And these challenges are forcing us to develop our mental, emotional, spiritual awareness and function, right? Because we're not gonna beat an army with guns. We're gonna beat an army by outsmarting it spiritually, emotionally, mentally, of course. So, and then I like to draw parallels. So then the other parallel is Jack Sparrow. The problem you have is not with the problem you have is the problem with the problem, or something like that. Look it up, Google Jack Sparrow quotes. But he's saying how you view the problem and to get a good angle on that. And okay, so how do we view this problem with all this stuff? Well, this is the conversation, is that it's, if we embrace that challenge, if we embrace the spiritual, mental, emotional aspects of it, we don't get stuck on, oh, get them out of office. Get them out of office? Seriously? Wrong answer. We're not going to buy or legislate ourselves out of these problems. Okay? And that's a linear mindset, colonial mindset. That's not going to work. It's just not. We have to rise above that whole situation. If you catch yourself trying to find a legislative or a monetary answer, just stop. Just stop. There's not time for that. So, let's see here. Anyway, I guess that's all I wanted to say. If we look at something, a little recap, looking at something on a one-dimensional level, if we say, oh, this is bullshit. Yeah, it's bullshit. Okay, that's the first, it's like preschool level identifying the problem. Okay, now the next thing to complete the cycle is, how do we fix the problem? Okay, I've identified the problem. Well, complaining about the problem is not fixing the problem. So, there that is. Not saying that's not fun to brag on someone once in a while like that. But, really to solve the problem, we have to get onto another state. We can't look at our challenges like that. These big challenges, these big, end of the world type challenges. We can't look at them. Oh, well, this person's in office. We got to get them out of office. We got to get someone better in there. If Bernie was in there, this wouldn't be a problem. But that's still working within that system, that static system. So I'll kind of progress on to the limitations of systems too, of man-made systems. A big problem is that people want to build these systems and hold this written word and laws up here, so we can't see everything here, right? So one thing I've been saying is we can't hold the processes that we make above the processes that made us. So to understand natural processes and bond with natural processes first, and that's going to include our personal development, our species development, and that sort of thing. But yeah, we're not gonna buy or legislate ourselves into the future, meaning our species. And so if we know that these people are so far behind the curve, and their their development on all 4 levels is so far behind. We know how far behind we are, right? Can we even fathom that yet? All right, well, if they're that far behind, then that must mean that somewhere we must be that far ahead, and that we have to develop ourselves and figure this shit out, not on a one-dimensional plane. And we have to embrace our challenges, our natural challenges, the challenge of life or death, and it is life or death, for us to rise and understand our mental, spiritual, emotional capacity. That's a life and I'm going to start back. But yeah, what I was saying is mental, spiritual, emotional, that's our life and death challenge right now. Our species has gone through the physical life and death challenges. Obviously, we're overpopulated. But if we say, and probably everyone that's watching this is kind of in the same mindset, that our mental, spiritual, emotional is as important as our... Okay, cutting out, I'm going to wind it up. Anyway, if our mental, spiritual, emotional is as important as our physical, which I think, balance, we kind of have to go with that, right? We're calling that a truth. And so let's, embrace those other factors and not be one-dimensional in addressing our challenges. Yeah, so that is, yeah, it's cutting out a little bit, so I'm gonna wind it up. Anyway, that's what I got to say about that for the morning. Oh, you know what? You know what I'll do? Do a quick little sign off here. It's like the prize at the bottom of the cereal box for listening to that. Okay, have a good day.